and C, Miss Amanda Pueller. You're famous too now, Mr. Photographer. So that's actually all three, Holly, Amanda, and Heather Pueller. Quite popular, and with the Beswick girls, and the Godfrey girls, and the Kintyre girls. As hard as you tried, Joe and Harry and Bernard and Roland Knight, to try to prove that Holly and Amanda are not my cousins, that kind of proves you guys wrong, that they are my relatives. And so, Joe, how much power did you and your team there, Mr. Entleman, have when those girls made it on there anyway? It kind of proves Dave and Joe and Roland Knight and Red Randy, Red Gordon, that you guys did it. Some of you just did it to get laid and lie. So, and Dave, you run around and talk shit with Joe. So, no, Ellery, I think some of you guys are just plain sicko, like Bernardo Lacarni and Doug King and Milton Anderson and Don Wiley, and you make up a story. So, no, what I think, Bernard and Joe, is quite simply this: that the group of you men got jealous of the We Built This City 80s boy, some college students and their project, Disneyland and Snow White, or Cinderella, and then, what else am I thinking or Ray Craster's of Fathers or Better Idea, right? Another project, or the Robot Project, right? And so what the group of you did, because you wanted to show up some people, is that, like Kim, for example, and Bailey, you guys took out the college student, you killed us, Brian and me, or whatever, tortured us. Then the group of you went and made your own clones of Kim, Bernard did, on the gangster side, the ghetto thing, with Perlita Ghetto Life and whatnot. And then, to show us up, made another set, to go, oh, look what we did, to point it in our face. And then basically, Bernard, you lied to your clones that you make, that you breed, like Snow White, Cinderella, blow in their faces, that whole fucking thing. Because, Bernard, I think you're a group of rapists. Especially when you have that kind of tie and connection, and you're so interested in Jews or Jehovah's Witnesses, and you just, and Perlita there, Bernard and Ellery, use the Jews or the Russians as an excuse to attack, or Jehovah's Witnesses. I think there was a completely different reality going until some of you got involved with it, Bernard, to heal all that chance. Same kind of attitude, same kind of behavior, and then, like I said, some of you guys just have to have your Eden, Zion, and Atlantis trophy fucks. And that's what you do to win the war, to climb the mountaintop. How many could you screw? So, but no, I think my cousins, Amanda and Holly and Heather, kind of made it through with the Beswick girls, the Godfrey girls, the Kintyres. Your obsession over at Roland Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon, is quite clear kind of who your leaders are. So, Bernard de la Carney, and that's why you guys mutilate the eye folk, the gin folk, me, Brian, Heidi, other people. I look better than you. The Antilla Man, Stolen Rainbow. See all this that they showed me. So I think what it is that you know, Harry, Joe, Bernard, they say we have a group of murderers that screwed up the hospital, and Sharp and Prez is trying, or basically proves in that, or Fitzsimmons, or whatever. And that's all you guys have ever done. To show up the college kids, the kids that went to school, so David didn't have to, or persuade, whatever. The Quinwan, here, the Quinwan. But they gave you guys your massive shit to mess, alright? So it goes back to what I was saying, Harry and Joe, Robo Knight, hovering branches. If you just left shit alone, instead of trying to be better than everyone else, you wouldn't have that problem. But they let you do your genetic eugenics, Bernard, and have your attitude, but it didn't work out too great for you in your image. David, it proves you either killed a Red Kennedy or a Rothschild, David. Or a Bowman. Or military. Or a Hilton. Is that the for that cowboy hillbilly craziness, and that's why you guys are running around like crazy hillbilly cowboys. Ellery running off with the Florida here. Team Bitted Fat. The Nazi thing, Confederacy thing. That's why stuff doesn't work, David. Because you guys run around thinking you can just do whatever you want, and science and math doesn't really work that way. And so Harry got what he wanted, but it's a lie. And like I said, too, the city's starting to pretty much prove you guys is con, and your scam and your grief upon the world. And that's probably how the boy got killed one of the first times, because they started realizing that the girls were being taken. Like I said, too, Harry. Like I said, too. Let's see here. Starbucks, you know, can also tell their employees that they're being grifted too. You guys' obsession and why you guys stalk and hover it, and you do the Indian story steal of the bit that's dropping crap everywhere. That means that people know another story there, Harry and Jill. As opposed to one that was normally going around now, you know, but that's the way the world works. A con and a scam and a grift takes time to run, which means it went probably before the football phase with you guys. And well, oh, there we go. No, it didn't really work, Brian, because Bernard and whoever messed with that stuff, the genetics changed. They didn't do it right. They just did it to show up, basically throw it in our face. Look what we made. Because they didn't go to school or whatnot. Like I said, the Aurora Central debate team, it didn't work out very well. But like I was saying too, it can show there's a message, another message. Hey, one time did work until certain men got involved. And like I said, like it's a get out of jail free card, right? For those who kind of know some of you. But it's a sign that they had a plan originally for some people, but jealousy took hold first. Who's going to control it? The technology. So all you got to do is the city follows the pattern of their supposed leader, the race, right? Or the Joe Zillig, or the Antilla Man, Ellery's, Bernard, Roble Knight, Red Rand. Generally, the first stuff of technology was not going to say it's primitive, but the first ones to take control of it, it's not going to get it right. And like I said, unfortunately, usually it gets a hold of usually racist people first, and that's not the ones you want to have it. And so that's why it evolves, and then they finally grow out of it. But guess what? You're stacked on top of the old. Hey, whispering faggots to Fairmount, that's the whole point. That's why those kids who are telling you, don't sexually harass them, don't rape them, don't do that stuff. We don't want to be bit down in your red after they had already paid for getting those kids out of that shit mess. And then, you know, Antilla Man and them had to have their, and Riley had to have their joke. It wasn't a very good joke in the end, was it now? So you can run overseas, right? Roll break this night, claiming that everything was yours, but everything's based upon what you stole out here. Which means the technology that you create in the future, Harry, in your TV black plan that you forced in people's brains, is going to suck. That means your future is going to suck because of the attitude in which people go about it. They're going to be all egotistical and spoiled and rich, but you're not going to be able to afford the spaceship when you can, you know, kind of like the car. The spaceship will be built sitting in the lot, but you won't be able to afford it. But you got a snotty attitude, so how do you buy it?